and then you got to go do a duty.
Do a duty.
Was it a big duty, Jim?
I slammed through some duties.
Never trust the duty.
All right, time to go take a duty.
3, 2, 1.
All right.
4005 Q.
And with that, welcome back to Server Restart In. It's a weekly World of Warcraft podcast where three opinionated players get together to discuss their thoughts about the current state of the game. My name is Jim. I'm joined by the ever enthusiastic Kristen and the always exuberant Brian.
Hello.
Yeah, just good adjectives.
I'm sick, so.
Yay!
Yay!
So, I don't know if you guys have been paying attention, but we are new grounds have been broken in this game. So,
What?
Which game we're talking about, Jim?
What?
talking
new
about
grounds?
World of Warcraft,
What new grounds?
a new record has been set.
In what?
One that many
The longest patch.
The
No,
the
no.
the most players to ever leave the game.
No, this is actually for somebody that's in the game. Is a record that many thought would never be broken.
What is it?
We have
Your
Hey.
Death Knight army?
no.
Double agent?
No.
Oh.
We have a new record for.
New record low of subs?
Oh my god, I can't say it if you keep guessing.
Sorry.
We can't guess it if you say it, Jim.
Yeah, come on. You're
Well,
taking
fine.
all the fun out of it.
Fine, keep guessing.
Okay.
And I'll tell you. You'll never gonna get it.
I give up.
Yeah, me too.
We have a new record for the most consecutive Night Elf flips in a row.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, the record you didn't know you needed, but you did.
No, I'm pretty sure don't need that one.
Yeah.
So-
No.
Most consecutive. What is the record?
Is that because it jumps? It doesn't always flip
No,
when it
there
jumps?
It doesn't
there is
always
a
flip,
20% chance for a Night Elf player
to
to
flip?
do a front flip when jumping.
Yeah.
So
What was the
somebody
record?
the record was, I don't know if it was, let's see.
2.
The previous record was 16.
Oh.
And this record has not been broken since April 7th of 2020.
Who verifies this though?
The guy
I
was,
guess video.
it's not really, it's like a unofficial record type thing. It's not a real thing, but like the guy was streaming when he did it, and he did 17,
Whoa.
and he wasn't even
Wow.
trying.
Hold the phone.
I
We
know.
could probably make an add-on to track that, yeah?
Oh.
Ooh, do we
World.
have a new project?
Yeah.
No, that means playing Night Elves though, and I don't really want to.
Yeah, no, I don't want to do
Yeah.
that either.
I mean, it's really hard to get a pile of ash to jump. So
Did Night Elf males jump too? Or
uh,
just females? I don't remember.
yes,
They both flip. Yeah, they both flip.
Okay.
yes.
They should Night Elf males should flip backwards and females should flip forwards.
While moving forward, they just do a back.
Yes.
So they just they have a 20% chance to randomly go backwards while
Backwards.
running forward.
Yes.
Well, at least it's not like the Blood Elves dumb flip.
The
That
twirl.
little-
Mm.
The little twirl, ta-da!
Yep. Yep.
What do any other races have anything like that, or is it just the elves?
Just the elves, I think.
Pandas do the little ta-da thing, but they don't do any flipsy
Well,
doos.
they do they don't spin though. They when they land, they do like a
Yeah.
like a superhero
balancing
like
thing.
a superhero landing type thing. Kind of like
It's like
where
a
they
balance
like in
thing.
balance pose.
They-
Yeah.
But they also do when they jump, they do the
Yeah.
outward jazz. I don't know.
Oh,
I don't know what
okay.
that
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
Okay, almost like a ballerina thing, where it's like a
Maybe?
or like a ice skating thing where you kick your legs out, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. I don't know. It's just one of those funky like jump animations. I don't know. I never liked it, but I'm also a stickler for stupid stuff.
Yeah.
That's subjective. Sorry.
Yeah. So this post on Wowhead ends with, says some naysayers might cry slow news, but fun little things like this show the carefree and fun side of WoW.
Oh.
So you
Okay.
guys are naysayers.
That's true. That's true.
I am very naysayery. Yeah.
I'm yay and nay. I mean,
Yeah. Oh my God. I got a goddamn error again.
So if you don't know,
Fuck.
it is early December, and is it early access for the new patch for Final Fantasy 14?
The new X-Pack.
is,
Yeah.
is out,
Yeah.
and it's a Friday, so a lot of people are trying to.
Sorry. I can't help that.
A lot of people are trying to log in.
Yep.
And somebody's been trying to get in for a while and has been plagued with system errors.
Yep. So
Basically
I've been
kicking it out.
sitting in queue.
You know, and this is something that Square Enix could take from Blizzard, is in implementing a launcher that, one, doesn't close when you launch the game. Because when you launch Final Fantasy 14, the launcher closes. Like, closes. And then you go into the game, it launches the game, and then if you have an error exit the game, the game client closes. You have to relaunch the launcher, launch back in, which is a pain in the ass, especially when you have two-factor authentication. So you have to put in, your code or whatever, and so then you have to do that, then launch it again, and all that stuff. If they had some way to make the launcher pass through the credentials, like WoW does, and then also have an additional login screen for the game, and then do a reconnect thing that WoW just did for 9.15 is when they added. Was it 9.15 or 9.1 that they added that in?
9.1.
9.1. Basically, like if you get DC'd or whatever, it just takes you to the login screen and you can just reconnect. And like in Final Fantasy, if you have any type of error in the game, it just exits the client. So that's kind of crappy.
I just got in. No, I didn't even get into the queue, and then I got another error. So that was amazing.
Yeah,
I didn't want to play tonight. It's,
that's a bald-faced lie, but that's okay. You just wanted to gather anyway.
I did just want to gather anyway. I want to get my crafters up, so.
But, I mean, so that's something I guess you could say that WoW has done pretty well compared to other games. At least from a technology standpoint, maybe. I don't know.
I mean, it's one-sided, though, because they still have queuing issues whenever stuff comes out.
Sure, but I mean, that's going to be hard to really balance anyway. Because unless you...
Well, no, I mean, if they just put in a system like Disney has, where you buy the Lightning Pass for more money.
Didn't they take that away?
And then you get ahead of the queue. I don't know.
I think
that's a terrible system.
It is, because everybody does that, and then you still have to wait in line. But
just pay them more money, and then they can change the queue up for you. Yeah.
Yeah, premium login.
That would be terrible. They probably will implement it.
That's one thing we don't want anybody to take and run with from what we're doing.
Wait, what?
A premium login, pay more to get.
Oh Jesus, no! God damn, no! No.
Yeah,
no, that's definitely something we don't want to see. That would be really fucking shitty.
The gator just
shut
the podcast off and went to the office.
He's just like, all right, guys, we got something new. Oh man,
I'm hot on it, Eureka!
It's like that meme of the guys in the office thing, and the one dude at the end sitting at the table. Except he says this, and then instead of throwing him out the window, they put him up on a dais and carry him around, like in that taco commercial where the little girl's like, "Why not both?" And they put her up on their shoulders and dance around, cheering and all that stuff. They do that because it's like, why not a priority queue? God damn it, they're gonna fucking do that now. You know that.
They're gonna do it. They probably will.
Damn it. Well, that just sucks.
Whatever.
But
problem is we don't get anything from it. That's what sucks.
I know. They're just stealing all our ideas.
Stealing our ideas, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. There wasn't really a lot going on in the live stuff. I haven't been paying attention to a lot of the PTR stuff because it's still a lot of. It's not. Well, okay.
It
So,
just dropped.
no, I'm sorry. I didn't mean PTR. I meant the data mine
Oh,
stuff.
PTR.
PTR. No, I mean I didn't mean the PTR. I was talking about like the data mining stuff. But like yeah, like the PTR stuff has dropped, and so like people are out there doing stuff, and there's some. I saw some tweet. Apparently, they have already put in a skip mechanic for alts, which is good that they're keeping that going forward. Which I have been taking advantage of, in the live game because, I'm still trying to get all my DKs up and stuff like that, and being able to skip the maw or being able to skip the main story stuff and go straight to Korthia as opposed to doing like the Torghast storylines and all that stuff. It's been pretty helpful.
Well, I do have one thing, and I'm going to kind of piggyback off of the Instance podcast because I watched their live stream today when they recorded theirs. But one topic they brought up that was really interesting, and like I know we talk about stuff, and I'm sure people talk about it all kinds of different ways, but they were comparing the difference in kind of like the community driven, I don't know what you call it, existence of the game, persistence, whatever it is, like the fact that WoW has kind of lost it, and the fact that Final Fantasy, and I can't validate that fact, but I'm sure somebody can. Final Fantasy has a tremendous, healthy, community-driven persistence. You know what I mean? Like logging in and not feeling like there's nothing to do. Nowhere near as much as like WoW is nowadays compared to how it used to be, right? And I'm interested to see, or at least to know, like, I don't know, like what you guys feel about that. Because sad thing is it's true. Like this expansion may even have like the most, I don't know, systems and all kinds of junk in the game ever. I don't know if that's true, but it could because there's a hell of a lot of stuff, and it'd be kind of hard to compare it off the top of my head. But in the end, though, like, man, this expansion's probably like pretty close to being one of the most boring ones, I guess, or the ones for me that have been the least interesting. So, and I know before we talked about like it's nice to the whole sit in town aspect or having a community or just having people on and being together type of thing just isn't there right now. And it really hasn't been in a while. I can't even recall like when the last time I felt that way, but
Legion.
Yeah, I was gonna say probably back in Legion.
For sure Legion, yeah. But like I feel like even BFA, even though like it wasn't super popular, when compared to other expansions, it's still like, I mean, I still played a pretty healthy amount of it in comparison. And when I logged in, I didn't feel like I was, logging into a single player game and there wasn't a world and people in it and stuff like that. So I don't know. Like, does that make sense? First off, like I might have chopped up what they said, but
so part of that I think is that Legion forced you almost to play a lot, right? It was one of the things that I did dislike about Legion was because of the way the artifacts were and you had to grind and grind and grind your weapon and grind all your traits.
Whoa.
It forced you to play a lot and it forced you to do a lot of things in order to do that, right? I did a lot of shit in Legion that I haven't done in expansion since. I PvP'd in Legion because that was to get the cosmetic appearances for your weapons, right? I did that. I did there were a lot of things that they had a lot of incentive for you to get. They had some shitty systems like I loved the idea of the artifact weapon. I hated the fact that you had to grind it so hard, and like you had to grind up your other weapons, like all your alt weapons, and it was painful until the end, right? But I played it. I tell everybody all the time, I probably played it way too much. I probably neglected things that I shouldn't have neglected in Legion because it punished you. It felt like it punished you. And because I was doing raiding and I was doing mythic raiding at the time, I felt like I always had to be, it was kind of like a Keeping Up with the Joneses, but the WoW version of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can tell you right now.
I played a lot.
She was always mad whenever there were other boomkins around. Well, no, it's not even that, you know, that there was the potential for whatever. It was great. Now I have competition for a raid spot, even though the raid group we ran with really wasn't like that.
No, it wasn't.
It wasn't quite like that. You know, I'm not trying to discount your feelings for that because
No.
I get it. There's well, one, there's a competitive nature, and two, it's just like, but I mean, it's like we were reliable. We showed up all the time, you know, and, you know, they weren't going to just sideline us because, you know, they got somebody else in there to.
Well, that was always a concern because we weren't in the guild with the people that we were mythic raiding with. So always the concern is that they're going to take their people over the people, you know what I mean? So that was always my concern, right? But anyway, regardless of that, that wasn't like, it just, I played a lot.
Right, but that's also a driving factor too, as far as wanting to keep your
Right,
stuff
being
up,
competitive, right.
by keeping your stuff top line, making sure that you were maxed out for whatever it was, so that you could, you know, have your tokens, get your gear, do all your other stuff, so that you weren't falling behind in that regard. So it's one less reason for you to be cut, so to speak. You know, like that was a driving factor for it too. Yeah,
and BFA, we were still with the same group. We were still doing mythic raiding. We were still doing that stuff, and it was fun. And I enjoyed it. I definitely played a little bit less. I took more breaks during it. And then at the end of it, I was just like, okay, I'm done. And then this expansion, I didn't, you know, we're raiding whenever we raid on, you know, our normal raid nights, that one night a week. And that's it. Like, I just completely dropped out of the other stuff. And that is what I enjoy. I enjoy raiding. For me, raiding is fun. I like the camaraderie, of being in a group of people that you're with all the time, and you have inside jokes and you laugh and you know, I enjoy raiding very much. I like learning how to do fights. I like getting better at the fights little by little, because I know where to stand and I know what, you know, what is going to be, the best time to use my cooldown for this fight or this or that. You know what I mean? I like that. And I don't really have that this expansion because I chose to step back from that because I got another job. I got, blah, blah, blah. I have life commitments. So it's hard. So the thing when you're asking about Final Fantasy, Final Fantasy, you can log in. I can log in and craft. And it's a viable thing. You make money in that guild, doing that, like a lot of money, and you can purchase a lot of things. There's, we play on an RP server, so there's a lot of RP opportunities that are around. It feels like when you go into Ul'dah, it feels like, and there's people standing around, there's people RPing, and it feels like a community, it feels like people doing things. I think the nature of it, part of it is, it doesn't feel like a solitary game because there aren't very many aspects of it that you can do solo. All of their stuff is, you still need groups to do that. Except for some of the level 50 stuff, you could go in and solo by yourself. Some of it, like the level 50 raids, you still need groups to go in and do those. smaller groups than you needed to, but like the 24-man alliance raids, yep, you still need groups to go in and do that. You can't just go in and do that by yourself. You can't solo all that stuff. Even though the level cap is going to be 90, they just did a stat squish, and you still can't go and solo level 50 stuff, 50 raids and stuff, and 60. So it doesn't feel like a solo game because you still need groups to do stuff. And another big factor in this is that they're not reinventing the wheel in classes every goddamn expansion. They don't change the way classes play each expansion. They make a class, they design it well. Every once in a while they tweak it because they find things are not quite working the way that they wanted. They just did a big change on Summoner, but until this point, they hadn't changed Summoner at all.
No,
it
that's
played
not true.
basically the same way.
They changed like Carbuncle and
They
all that
changed
stuff.
the carbuncles, but they didn't change the gameplay of the. They changed a little bit because the Titan wasn't able to tank anymore. So they changed that.
Yeah.
But now they've just made a summoner an actual summoner. It doesn't rely on dots. There's no more dots anymore. They completely redesigned the class. But they don't do that for every class. And they don't do that every expansion. You know what I mean? So you pick the class that you want to play, and that's the class that you're playing. You may get some new skills from, the next 10 levels, but you're essentially playing the same class, and it doesn't change too much. Whereas with WoW, it's frustrating because it feels like you're playing a completely different class every X-Pack. That's frustrating. That's frustrating to me because I'm old. I don't want to learn how to play a new goddamn class every X-Pack. Let me just play my Druid the way that I wanted to play it. I enjoyed it very much in Legion. Keep it like that, or you know what I mean, or whatever. Keep it as the way that it was. I enjoyed my Shadow Priest in Wrath. Why couldn't it go back to that?
So let's see. We're in expansion 9, and the borrowed power stuff really started with Legion, didn't it? With the artifact weapons. Because other than I don't think they had anything in WoD, did they?
The cloak.
I mean, yeah, a legendary item's different.
Right.
That's not. I mean,
Yeah.
legendary items.
No,
have
they
always
didn't.
Been in
It was
the
really
game.
with Legion, I think.
So Final Fantasy hasn't had as long a time
And they haven't gone
to get
into
to a point to where they need to introduce something where they felt that maybe they need to do something, and maybe they won't, right? But WoW had gone 6 expansions or 5 expansions, full expansions before really introducing this borrowed power thing, and then we got, artifact weapons and Azerite stuff, and now the Covenant stuff, and and that'll probably go away too. And so they made that decision to make that change after having nothing like that for a while. And once you start putting those types of systems in, then every time you take it away, but you want to keep like that same level of effectiveness at the beginning of the next thing, with it gone, they have to redo everything, right? They shot themselves in the foot with that.
Mm-hmm.
Not gonna say they didn't, and like they've kind of made their bed, now they got to lie in it kind of thing, with having to redo classes all the time because they introduce things that greatly change the gameplay as you level them up, and then they take it away. So now you have to kind of the Legion, because in Legion it was artifacts and legendaries.
Yeah.
You got stuff from both that got baked into the gameplay, like in DK's Cold Heart, which was it builds up to 20 stacks for Chains of Ice, and then it does a shit ton of damage. That was a legendary. Then they baked it into a talent, and then I think they just baked it in, or no, it's still a talent for Frost DKs or whatever. And it's just like, it was so good, and it was so much a part of the rotation that they had to add it back in a different way. And it's just, Same thing with Fury of Syndragos or whatever, the big dragon that you shoot. You know, that was on the artifact weapon, but it was like not an execute, but like a big DPS thing that, you know, they had to bake it in as a talent or something. I think it's baseline now, but I don't know. But I think the way WoW has designed all these things to do that are end game things that are not like they have focused on Mythic Pluses, PvP, and raiding as like end game content, and then like collection stuff, but they don't have anything in there that really allows for anything else. Like you log in, that's kind of what you're doing. You're either leveling a character up, which until recently was a pain in the ass to do alts. You know, they've kind of addressed that with the latest, you know, patch with 915. But like when she logs into Final Fantasy, she'll go in there and you can do performances. Like there's people playing music.
Yeah,
with macros
it's
and stuff,
amazing.
and like they, you know, they got, I don't know if they're multi-boxing or whatever or whatnot, but like they'll play like regular like music in the game. Like they'll play like
They have
Metallica songs and
concerts,
stuff
yeah.
like that, you know. And it's like that's a community event that they just do, and Square Enix has nothing to do with it.
They have housing competitions, but they make nightclubs in housing things. Like they turn houses into nightclubs and people go and dance to them. They put them on Twitch so people can listen to the music that they're listening to, and they have giveaways and they give away money, and you know what I mean? Like there's all kinds of crazy stuff that goes on, which is nuts. You know, it's crazy how much community
and part of it,
That's what I mean. Stuff
Yeah.
like that
Right.
that does not exist at all in WoW.
and
No.
I
And
think,
it did, and some of it did here and there a long time ago, but
Yeah.
nowhere near.
nowhere near.
well, it probably has to do with Blizzard's direct, you know, the way they've directed the game. They've directed it to
Away from fun.
Well, no, it's they have this idea of what endgame is, and for a lot of people that is fun. A lot of people do like to log in and try to get high keys and do PvP and do raiding and stuff like that. But there's just a lot of people that kind of just want to do other stuff, and they've lost a lot of that. And I hate to say this, but I mean, the WoW community is kind of shit as far as like in game. You know, it's like you go in and it's just like you see somebody asking a question and you don't know, either they're a fucking troll
Right.
or they're new or they just don't pay attention, right? And like they don't know something that's simple. And like for the most part, you know, it gets bad reactions from people, like trade chats, just garbage, or general chat and stuff like that. And it's just there's a lot of toxicity there. You know, it just nobody wants to be helpful, and you know, and it's just like it sucks. You know, and it's not,
And the sad thing is, it used to be really good.
Yeah. Well,
really,
I
really
think
good.
what the problem is the community is a reflection of where the game is right now, right? And so if you're kind of unhappy playing the game, you're going to be in that unhappy mindset, because it's not like that. And I hate to say it, but it's not like that in Final Fantasy. In Final Fantasy, if you're a sprout or a new player or whatever, and you log in and they have a novice network that you join that you can ask questions in, and we have mentors, which I'm just a trade mentor because I can't be bothered to do the battle one, but people, you can ask people questions and they're helpful, and they're like, yes, you know, they'll go out of their way, especially if you have that little sprout tag, which is like this little thing that they give you if you played less than 300 hours of the game. You have
Less
a little.
than 300.
It used to be 170.
wow.
They've upped it to 300.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's because there's so much in the fucking game.
there's
now.
a lot in the game.
Because
Yeah.
unlike WoW in Final Fantasy, you still have to play through all
Everything.
the fucking story
Yeah,
to even start the next
Oh.
content.
yeah,
Right.
yeah. It's
Interesting.
very story driven. You're gated behind story,
And that's one thing, you know, that I don't
and that's sorry. I was gonna say that's very single player.
It is.
Yeah.
And like I'm still trying to get through all of like the patches for the last expansion for Shadowbringers, and it's just like I get bored with it. Not bored, like the story's good.
The story's really good.
You know, but it's like I want to get in and I want to go through all this stuff, but it's just like every other time you go to talk to somebody to do something for a quest or to pick up a new quest, there's a 5-minute fucking
there
cut
is a lot of
scene,
cutscenes.
and half of it's voice acted, half of it's not, and it's just like, oh, blah 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 blah, and like, and I mean, I get it. It's info dump shit. You know, it's like. You know, it's unveiling story, and like I get it, and I like this story, and it's neat. It's very interesting.
Yeah.
But it's just like I can't get on and go through more than like 3 or 4 quests before either I have something else to do, because that's like an hour's worth of shit.
Yeah, it is.
And then it's like, and then you got to go do a duty or a dungeon.
Yeah.
And all this stuff, and then not take a duty.
Was it a big duty, Jim?
Do a duty.
Uh,
The nice thing is they have trusts now, which is good. So you don't have to wait in a DPS queue. You could go in with a trust. But
unless your fucking item level is too low,
right?
And then you can't do it.
Yes.
And I did it. It's like the last 2 fucking ones I had to do.
What's hard?
Never trust the duty.
What's hard is you're trying
never trust.
You're trying to get caught up, and so it's a little bit easier if you do the patches as they're coming out, rather than just slamming through them all at the end, right? Because
I slammed through some duties.
Yeah, you slammed through some duties. It's a little bit. It's a little hard to go through all of that because you've got.
There's no stopping point where you're just
going.
Accumulate gear for a little bit and get a little bit higher, so that when the next content comes out, you're already up there.
Yes.
But they took away belts in this new expansion, so that jumped my item level up even higher because it reduced the amount of items that go into it.
Yeah.
Took away belts.
Yeah, they took them away,
the belt
so
slot they got rid of.
Yeah, so they could give us more weapons and more rings. More ring slots. So we have 50 slots.
In your armory cache or something like that?
Yeah, you have an armory.
Can you still wear belts? Or do your pants just fall off?
They just fall off.
Yeah. Nobody wears pants in this game anyway.
The way they said it.
They're all taking duty.
They said it in a...
Why wear pants if you got to take a duty?
They said it in the patch notes. They're like, due to the advances in tailoring, belts are no longer necessary. And
Everybody's got mom jeans.
We're like, what are they just like sewing the pants to you now?
Like mom jeans.
Shorts? Is that what it is? Shorts?
Elastic waists.
Shorts. Elastic waists.
Mom jeans.
Yep.
Everybody's wearing sweatpants, dude.
I mean,
it's easier for
to be fair, everything like I do wish that they would take WoW's transmog system. They're not going to fix their transmog until 6.1. They're going to give us hopefully some additional glamour things that's on the menu for 6.1. I can't wait for 6.1 because I have 0 glamour slots left. I had to go get more retainers to hold all of my gear.
All my retainers.
All my retainers.
So just to kind of flesh that out a little bit, if nobody understands what their glamour system is, it's like WoW's initial transmog system where you had to have the item to apply the appearance to another item. You had to physically have both items to copy the appearance. And then so they give you an armoire and all that stuff that basically is like your armory chest. But it's like you go to an inn and you can access it, and then so it's like your glamour collection. It's almost like if you think about like in World of Warcraft, you had the void storage, right? It's kind of like that. It's an additional storage stuff where you can put stuff that you're going to use for your transmog. So instead of having it like you've learned the appearance and you have a collections tab like we do now, where you can look at everything and it tells you where it's at and where you can get it and you can use it if you've unlocked it or not. You still have to have the physical piece. So that's kind of, and since Kristen's a fucking pack rat, and in every game she goddamn plays, she has no inventory space for anything. She's sitting here waiting for all this stuff to get more space so she can fill it up, and she'll probably fill it up within 2 days.
Oh, I will. I think that they shouldn't sell things in an online store and then not give you space to use them. because I buy so many
It's a good point.
glamours from their store, and I can't use half of them.
They should just hook the store up to your account
Yeah.
and look at your character and go, well, that character doesn't have any more glamour slots, so you can't buy it.
Oh, that would be
Sorry, purchasing
terrible.
this item will just benefit you not at all.
Oh, that would be terrible.
So,
Speaking of which, I gotta go look at the Mog Station.
speaking of transmog and stuff, and I don't know if there's any type of legs to this, but somebody had posted something on Twitter, and it was a screenshot of some code in WoW for gender or sex of your character, like a toggle, where you could do male, female, both or neither. And I don't know if it's necessarily for character or if it's for armor, because there are armor pieces that have those tags, and if they use that to put that onto the characters, it would allow for more transmog options, because you could have because some things like a certain piece has a male transmog and a female transmog appearance in the game, so it might be a way to allow you to pick which one you want, which is going to be really great for a Tauren running around in a plate bikini, if I can get that. But
That'd be pretty hot.
That would be amazing.
But that would be an interesting thing because they did give you the ability to break shoulders up in the transmog system, where you can transmog individual shoulders. However, I have a gripe about that, because you can still own. So, like, if you get something that is a left shoulder piece and you split it up, and the left shoulder can only be used on the left shoulder. The right shoulder can only be used on the right shoulder. Like Herod shoulders, or like the DK Mythic Battle for Dazar lore set, where it's got the giant tricycle, or giant Triceratops skull, not tricycle. What the
Any
fuck?
one-sided original set can't be switched.
Right, and
to
then
the other
so
side.
but even that set's two pieces, but one's just a normal pauldron and the other one's the dinosaur skull. I want them
Yeah.
on both shoulders, but I can't do it. I can't flip them.
Mm.
And I don't like that. I really wish that would be something that they could add too. Could you imagine if they could make each thing individual? You could have just different color shoes. I saw somebody post something, and they somehow had done most of their things, their transmog, to look like half of them was red and half of them was blue, just like the effects on the gear. And it was pretty neat, So like, you could really open up some stuff in the transmog system, especially with everything that's already out there. I mean, there's so much gear out there to use, but I don't know.
Yeah.
So the day after this episode goes live is the start of the Legion Time Walking event on the live servers. It's since the initial Legion Time Walking event, it'll be a 2-week event. So we're gonna get Legion Time Walking dungeons, Legion Time Walking Mythic plus Key dungeons, and Time Walking Mage Tower. So it's going to be interesting to see how much people can get done in 2 weeks. It's like, because you get, I think there's seven different unique mage towers. No, there's not. I lied. Maybe there is. I don't know, because some of them are repeated. But if you do all the mage tower stuff, you get the spellbook mount. So, unfortunately, I don't have all my characters up, but I think I have all of them at least at 50, so I think I could probably do it. Probably won't be able to. But I really want to get the DK stuff done and then do the druid. So I've been working on getting my druid up to get some gear and stuff on him. Get used to playing him again so I can get that fucking fell werebear.
Oh yeah, oh man, see that's so weird. It's weird that the patch came out like what over a month ago, and we're just now getting it because we've talked about all this stuff like a long time ago.
We have talked about it, but this is just kind of like it's coming out. It's like it was.
Yeah,
no,
I know. Yeah.
So
it's just funny.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how many people actually do Legion, the mythic dungeons. You know, and see like what they do as far as like key pushes and stuff like that. You know, I don't know if that's going to be because they're going to have different affixes. Is that what they're called? Yes, they're going to have different affixes for them as opposed to
then what's in
the retail
Shadowlands.
Yeah,
no, that makes sense.
So it'll be
it'll be interesting. I don't know. It's I think it's funny because the only thing that I really would like to go back and play is
Eye of Ashara.
Nope. The boat. What was the boat called? Storm. It was in Stormheim.
Oh, Helga's
Oh no, the Hellmouth? No.
Hell something.
The boat. Yeah, no, I know which one
I
you're
know
talking
which
about.
one you're talking about.
Fuck. That's a good dungeon.
That was a really good dungeon.
I like that one. We fight hell at the
It
end.
had so many. Dude, it had so many like Lich King vibes to it. It's so crazy.
It did have a lot of them. You're right.
God damn. I forgot about that dungeon. That is a really good dungeon. And you know, and that's the nice thing about that dungeon too, is that it wasn't always the same. You had different routes depending on what week it was and all that stuff. So it was like you could go one way or the other, you know, just depending on what it was, and that depended on what mobs you killed and all that stuff. So I like it when the dungeons are like that. When you have different
Helheim? It's not Helheim, is it? No.
No, Helheim was the zone.
I gotta look it up.
I know, I do too. I'm gonna look and see. Actually gonna look and see if they list what the time walking ones are, because
Maw of Souls.
Maw of Souls,
That's it.
Legion Time Walking Guide. There should be Mythic plus Legion Time Walking, which, because it's not all dungeons, is it? What are the Mythic plus dungeons? I don't care about. It's not going to tell me. All right. Well, fuck it. Oh no, Blackrock Hold, Quarter Stars. It's not one of them.
Oh no way!
Yeah,
Why would they bring back the Vault of Wardens, dude? No, come on.
Nothing in Layers, all right, but yeah, no, they really should have brought back.
I like Nathalion. Yeah, that was a good one. Shara wasn't too bad. I don't know.
Yeah, that one's just kind of because everybody tries to do all like that's the one where like if somebody just ran the wrong way, that's the one with the fucking seagulls, and fuck those goddamn birds.
Oh, those seagulls.
Yeah.
That's the one where like leveling up, you know, alts and stuff like that. You get in that dungeon and you get to the second Hydra boss or whatever, and like they just stay on the main head. Nobody wants to kill the ad heads.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just like, dude, seriously, it's like the tanks.
It's even like Darkheart Thicket. I never really enjoyed that one either.
Yeah.
Blackrock Hold I thought was cool. Quarter Stars is fun.
Blackrock Hold, that's not one a lot of people did after it started.
And it was it had like cool aesthetics and everything.
Because that's the one that's by the Dark Portal, right? It's in the Fire Mount or wherever fucking.
And it's in the tree.
Behind the tree. Oh, never mind. I'm thinking of Blackrock.
Oh yeah,
Depths, or whatever that one was. That at the start of Legion was like the pre-patch dungeon. Never mind. That's the God. Do I remember that one? Yes. Vaguely.
Yeah, like what you go in and there's the ghostly dude or whatever in the first part of the
Yeah, and I remember you go up the stairs,
Castle,
and on the balcony and stuff, and
the rocks or the dude rocks or whatever, they roll down the stairs and the spiders.
Those fucking stairs, man.
Yeah. No, I liked it. I don't understand why Maw of Souls, other than the fact that it's so quick.
It could just be because I don't know why they pick those.
Well, even Halls of Valor. Halls of Valor was a good one. I mean, it wasn't bad.
Yeah.
Like,
It was long. Halls of Valor was long. Because you had to run out to do the Fenrir stuff. You had to do a lot of running around.
Yeah,
hell, but Vault of Wardens was long too, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because you had to wait
Well,
for the elevators if
so
you couldn't levitate
Yeah, I
or
don't know.
flap.
I don't know if the dungeons are picked because I don't think these were picked for Mythic Plus purposes in general because they always only limit six.
Yes, they were, Jim. The Gator came through.
Oh,
and
for
said,
fuck's sake!
"These-
The Gator had nothing to do with it because
These are the only dungeons that we can have in a competitive scenario.
Right.
well, all the other time walking instances are always limited to 6, and I don't know if that's just to.
Yeah.
You know what?
Time walking spelled backwards is NASCAR. Okay, and NASCAR's competitive. All right, so
Well, okay. Thank you. Thank you for enlightening me because I was not getting that.
anytime,
I'm
anytime,
sorry.
I'm always
I'm
here
sorry.
for you.
Thank you. All right. Time to go take a duty.
Oh my
right,
god,
well-
don't make me cough.
Sorry. Killing Chris.
His duty's weak.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Coughing will
never
make you
trust the
duty.
duty.
Yeah.
Never trust
Oh,
duty.
man, never trust a duty.
All right. Well, I'm pretty sure we got a title for the episode now.
Never trust.
Um,
Oh man.
So, anyway, I think that's a pretty good. I mean, unless you got anything else kicking around that you think that, I mean, it's not really a lot going on.
1468
Nope.
in queue right now. Woo! Just waiting for the 2002 era.
I
I'm
ran through
sorry,
half
the
of
era?
the.
Era.
All right, there we go.
The
Recorded
2002's error.
Yay!
Recorded
I ran
evidence.
through half of the PTR. It was boring. Yay!
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 Was it boring because nobody was around, or was it boring just because it was all just stupid stuff?
Little both. It was a little
Little
both.
of both.
Yeah. So, but we'll leave that for another time.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks everybody for listening. You can check us out at facebook.com/server restart in. Send us a tweet at server_restart on Twitter. And catch you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.